Hey, what's happening everyone? This is Night Shadow Industries. This is the first video I've made in ages now. There just hasn't really been much lately. I've wanted to either review or really post up, and I've just been busy with other things lately. I might get into reviewing some stuff. I do have some stuff that I've recently bought here and there that I don't have packaging for anymore, but you know, it's still something that I think you guys might enjoy looking at. But either way, as you've seen in the title down below, this is a review on a Harry Potter Noble Collection Elder Wand. I did one a little while ago, and that was on a cheap knockoff of just, you know, your generic sort of eBay $12 wand, which I do actually still have here, which is this one. In the camera, it actually looks a little bit better, but in person, it's all right. But you can notice that there are a lot of different sort of defects, stuff like that. You can tell where the plastic has sort of been molded. As I said in that previous video, though, it is a good wand. It is a good sort of replica prop, whatever you want to do. It is a good sort of display item. Also, considering that I now have the Noble Collection wand, I still prefer to hang this one up and mess around with this and all that sort of stuff, because I would rather accidentally drop and break this rather than this. But let's just get down to the box. Very much like the boxes in the film. On either side they have this really cool little stamp. I still don't know what that stamp is, so I'm hoping someone can tell me what it was, just because I kind of feel bad. But much like the movie ones, again, there isn't much detail on the box. I just keep it because, I mean, are you really going to get rid of it? But on the inside of the box, much like it is in the movie, slide this piece off, and then you are meted with this beautiful, I would say, navy bluish, purpley sort of color. I don't know. You do get a certificate of authenticity, which is products inspired by the world of Harry Potter. This document certifies that the enclosed wand is an authentic replica from the Warner Brothers Pictures Harry Potter film series. Please enjoy this unique offering from the Noble Collection. So, you get that. Again, it's reversed in the camera, so my bad. I'll just put that aside. But yes, so you, much like the films, you get like the little sort of tassel-y sort of fabric on it. And then you get this beautiful purple bluish velvet, which is just phenomenal. And then inside is the Elder Wand. Overall, this is incredibly detailed to what it was in the film. I don't know if it picks up, but like overall, you can actually see like the sort of indentation, like it would be real wood. All of this is just phenomenal. This one, considering probably the fact that it's a higher class replica, everything like that, it is so much more comfier to hold in your hand, waving around, stuff like that. But overall, it is a more comfortable, a more hefty sort of prop or replica or whatever you want to sort of go for. The only thing I have a problem with is just on the tip. It's extremely flat. It's straight cut. But again, that's not really a big deal, especially from afar. Again, as you guys can see, the picture doesn't really do it justice. This, you know, you've got all these, like, if it wants to pick up, it just won't. In, like, when you're looking right at it, there are these small little scuff marks, or these little cracks and bits and pieces that make it look so much more like real wood, like this was a real, you know, real wooden prop, really. And it just feels so much more comfortable in your hand. So it's phenomenal for what it is. I think the retail price for these goes about $50–60 Australian. So convert that as you would. But overall, it's just phenomenal. A lot larger than the cheap knockoff. So here is the... Oh, doesn't even get it. So that's the Noble Collection Elder one. And then this is the cheap knockoff. And hang on, if we put them right together, you can see that there is a significant length difference. And you can also tell that one is a lot darker, almost like a oak. I don't really know wood very well. So it gives off a more realistic sort of look, because you have sort of the darker areas where these little nut thingies are, and then it becomes lighter as it comes through, which gives a lot more detail, as you can see. Whereas again, this one, you can see it's poorly done. If you can double check on here, these are a lot less sort of recessed than these ones. These ones are almost flat out holes in there. So yeah, personally, again, as I said, this is great if you're swinging it around being an idiot. If you're a parent who's wanting one for their kid who's a massive Harry Potter fan and you're worried about them breaking it, again, spending $50–60 on something like this for a kid who could most likely break it is a bit heartbreaking. But if he's running around with it, at least this is something that you're not going to be upset about when he comes back and it's broken. You go, oh, that's okay. It was $12. We can buy another one. But yes, I would personally always go with this if you are a collector, which I'm slowly becoming. And again, with the overall weight, the feel, it feels, I can't express how phenomenal this feels in your hand. I honestly feel like I'm about to get my throat slit like the first brother. But yes, it's absolutely phenomenal. Another detail that I did notice is, so much like this, the top is more rounded, which does make it look a little bit more realistic, a lot more comfortable, as I just said, whereas this one is just a flat piece. So, and when you're feeling it, because of how sort of in-depth these are, they can become pretty tight. There's just a lot of jagged edges on this that when you're holding can become a bit uncomfortable. Especially, I really enjoy doing this for a while, and doing that for too long does hurt. Whereas because of just this being so well made and so perfect, you can do this for ages and it's not going to hurt. So by far, I would flat out recommend that if you're wanting a proper collection, despite me getting this for free as a gift, I would have happily paid this. At the time, I wouldn't have, just because I've never seen them before. I wasn't really keen on having a wand in my collection, just because I'm more lightsabers, swords, shields, all that other stuff. So I wasn't entirely crazy on getting a prop from Harry Potter. I do have the ring, the Horcrux, the Slytherin Riddle ring, Tom Riddle's ring. I do have that. Again, being a cheap knockoff that cost me like $2 at the most. But yeah, you know, something like this where it's setting you back 50-60 bucks. It is, depending on how big of a fan you are and how much you really want one of these new collections, it is something that you definitely look into. I am going to continue keeping it in the box just because, one, it is a perfect protection for it. I haven't had to worry about it being damaged or anything like that. So that's been phenomenal. I would, if I was going to permanently take it out of the box and display it, I would most likely look into, I don't know, in Australia we have a thing called Zing, so you get like all these different collectibles, you can get different stuff like that. Zing actually has a stand for wands. The only downside is that the stand is solely for like 4 wands, so if you're really wanting to display it, you might want to look into getting a few different ones just so the stand looks a bit better. Other than that, you know, having it in here has been pretty nice. Whenever friends or, you know, people who are relative Harry Potter fanatics come over, then yeah, I'll take it out and I'll show it off. But other than that, I normally prefer keeping it in the box, and normally I just keep this sitting on top of it, just because then if people ask, oh, what's the box, it's a nicer version of this. Again, you know, if you're wanting to cosplay, if you're wanting to screw around, if you're wanting to have fun, I would definitely recommend this, just because it's a cheap knockoff. You can swing it, you can bang it, you can do whatever the hell you want, and you're not going to be upset when it breaks. But if you're wanting a proper collection, you know, a proper collectible item, then by far go for the Noble collection, because you cannot go wrong. The overall just design, everything about it is absolutely phenomenal. So I would 110% go for the Noble collection. But yeah, that is it for this review video. It's a lot shorter than I've done previous videos. I'm hardly editing anymore, so it doesn't really matter because I just post them up. It doesn't really faze me anymore. But yeah, I hope you guys liked it, and I know I might consider posting more stuff up later on. We'll see what happens. But anyway, you guys have a great afternoon or morning or evening or whatever it is, and I'll see you guys potentially in the next videos.